Welcome back. This is Robert. I am the recovery guy. It's very good to have you here with us today. I really enjoy the opportunity to get in front of the camera and record these video segments. I hope they're helpful to you. I know for me personally, the more topics I do and the subjects that I discuss with you, I know my belief is deepened and enhanced, and I grow so much as an individual as I share with you what obviously is my experience, strength, and my hope. And as I take concepts that we've all heard in recovery and I share them with you, it gives me a deeper meaning and understanding of what they are. And I hope it has the same effect for you. Today, in the time that we have in this video, I want to talk to you about happy, joyous, and free. And if you've been around the program very long, you'll know that's something that we discuss. Matter of fact, on page 133, it reads that we are sure, not we think, or we have an idea, or maybe, but we are sure that God wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. It goes on and says, we cannot subscribe to the belief that this life is a vale of tears, though it once was just that for many of us. But it is clear that we made our own misery. God didn't do it. Avoid then the deliberate manufacture of misery, but if trouble comes, cheerfully capitalize it as an opportunity to demonstrate His omnipotence. Powerful statement. It doesn't leave any question as to what this is saying here. Number one, if I'm miserable, I probably put into action or was a part of whatever is causing me that misery. But we are sure that God wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. I don't want a God of my own understanding. And that's the beautiful thing about 12-step program. Again, whether it's AA, NA, OA, GA, SA, you name it, we're sure that this God that we choose as our higher power wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. And if the God of your understanding doesn't want that for you, I suggest you switch out your God. That's just a suggestion. You're welcome to your misery if that's where you choose to be. But the beautiful thing is we don't need to be there anymore. So when we look at those three words, happy, joyous, and free, I came in to the program discouraged, sad, and in bondage. The word happy means delighted, pleased, or glad as over a particular thing. It's characterized by an indicative measure of pleasure, contentment, favored by fortune, fortunate, or lucky. I actually knew a guy named Jim back at the Valley Alano Club in Ontario, California. It's now up in Rancho Cucamonga. But back in the day, I knew this guy named Jim, and he said a couple interesting things. He would say, hey, my name is Jim, and I'm a lucky alcoholic. And I thought, okay, I like to think I live my life a little bit more than just luck. But I understood what he was saying. He was lucky he found the program. He was lucky to be there. He was lucky to be alive. And he really expressed that a lot. The other thing he said was, the tide goes in and the tide goes out, and I don't drink in between. And that was how simple he had brought the program down to. But you know what? We are fortunate. We are lucky to have found this way. The sad reality is most alcoholics and drug addicts and others who suffer from our type of condition, they don't find us. Institutions, jails, hospitals, death. That's what awaits more of us who find the program than those who don't. We go from discouraged and miserable to happy. And it's an amazing transformation. And if you're not there yet on a regular basis, I hope you're seeing pieces of it as you work the program, as you enjoy the fellowship, and as you work with your sponsor in the plan of recovery. The next one is joy, or joyous. The emotion of great delight or happiness caused by something exceptionally good or satisfying. I love this definition. The emotion of great delight or happiness caused by something exceptionally good or satisfying. You know, I don't care whether you're 1 day or 100 days or 1,000 days or 10,000 days. You know, we need to share our joy. We have been given a daily reprieve. You know, so often I talk to some newcomers who will say, I'll say, how long you been here? How long you been sober? How long you been clean? That type of thing. And they'll say, well, only 5 days, or only 10 days, or only 20 days. And I think, when was the last time, and I'll even ask, I'll say, when was the last time you were clean and sober for, say, 4 days in a row? You know, and many people will say, well, it was back, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago. And I think, and you're using the word only? Why would we limit? But, you know, we do the same thing with our joyousness, with expressing that, that exceptionally good thing that's happened to us. You know, if we are given the keys to the kingdom, if someone gave you a check today, if you said to someone, I need a certain amount of money, and they said, you know what, I'll write you a check for that. How much do you want it to be? And you got to name that amount, and they signed that check and they handed it to you. When would you cash it? Would you wait? Would you say, you know what, I know I really need this, but I'm going to hold on to this for a while? Or would you be like me and run down to the bank right away and cash it and take what was given to you? You know, it's the same thing with recovery. And the sooner you take and receive what's been given to you, which is an opportunity to be happy, to be joyous, to find that thing that is exceptionally good and satisfying, because it was miserable out there. I am sure that if you're alcoholic and drug addict like I am, life was painful. Life was lonely. My sense of despair and loneliness, Bill called it incomprehensible demoralization. What a term that is. It's incomprehensible. I don't even know how I got here, and I'm here. And it's so demoralizing because I no longer have value. Everything of value I've given away a long time ago. But now I come in and I have an opportunity to have the great delight or happiness caused by getting something that's exceptionally good. That is joy. And then, of course, to be free. You know, I was in bondage. I couldn't drink or use anymore, but I couldn't stop. I was trapped. I was caught in this spiral of addiction that caused me to go down and down and down and down. Every time I tried to reach up, they would pull me back down and deeper and deeper and deeper. And I thought I was doomed. I thought, this is my lot. I'm going to die here. For some miraculous reason, I was led to a treatment center in February of 1986, and it was my first taste of sobriety. I was able in that treatment center to stay sober 7 days on the inside and 72 days on the outside before I had relapsed. But I began to see that I didn't have to be in bondage anymore. I was fortunate. After my relapse, I was able to come back to the program of Alcoholics Anonymous back on April 25th of 1986, I haven't found it necessary to drink or use since then. And not only have I not found it necessary to drink or use, but I have found a way through the program, through the first 164 pages, by doing the steps, by working with my sponsor, to becoming a person of service, to living the life that's been offered to me. Is my life perfect? Yeah. It's life. Life is uphill. Sometimes it's not a lot of fun pedaling, but we do, because coasting, I can't coast for very long. I mean, it violates a scientific principle. If life is uphill and I'm trying to coast, it's only a matter of time before I'm going backwards. And again, if you're alcoholic or drug addict like me, going backwards, we don't go backwards for very long before we crash, and it's pretty disastrous when we do. So we live our life moving forward. We understand the principles of being happy. The opportunity to take that happiness and express it through joy, to be joyous, and to celebrate our freedom. We are sure that God wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. In chapter 5 it says, rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. If you can't recover, guess what? It's because you can't give yourself to this simple program. It even says that there are those too who are constitutionally incapable of being honest. But many of them do recover. How about you? Are you happy where you're at? And if you are happy, joyous, and free, is there more? I tell people all the time, my middle name is more. When I was out there ripping and running, it was more alcohol, it was more drugs, it was more pornography, it was more deceit, it was more putting me first. My middle name is still more. But today, I want more happiness. I want more joy. I want more freedom. I want to be more recovered. I want to be well. I want to take the promises of the big book, of the plan of recovery, and incorporate them into my life. And not only for my life, but for the life of my wife, for the life of my children, the life of my friend, for the life of you. When I see you at a meeting and you know that I have a message to carry, is that a message that you want? Do I have what you want? Because it says, if you want what we have and are willing to go to any lengths to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. It says that if newcomers could see no joy in our existence, they wouldn't want it. Am I over the top in expressing my happiness, my joy, and my freedom? I sure am. Do I make apologies? Heck no. Because what I have and what countless others that I know have is a true happiness, a true joy, and a true freedom. And we get that through the program of recovery. I hope that this has been your experience. If it hasn't been your experience and there's something that I can do to help you, would you email me or contact me? Let me know what we can do at Recovery Guy to help you go from broken to whole, to go from discouraged to happy, from sad to joyous, and from in bondage to freedom. My name is Robert. I'm the Recovery Guy, and thank you for joining us today.